Alright, second take. Um, hey guys, Adam here from Sapphire Comic Sanctuary. Hope you've all had a good week and weekend. It's Monday again tomorrow. But anyways, today I want to bring my review and overview of Sword Art Online Moon Cradle. This is Light Novel Volume 20 by Riki Kawahara. And this is the follow-up to Moon Cradle Light Novel 19. Quick overview of the cover, spine, and back. There you go. There. And you can pause the video if you want to try to read the back. I'll try to bring it to focus. There we go. Alright. So we have Kirito, Tease, Roni, and Asuna on the cover here. Basically, if you recall from my light novel 19 review for SAO Moon Cradle, you would know that there is a murderer on the loose somewhere in the underworld that has violated certain rules, but they're immune to said rules, and that there was a goblin that was mistakenly imprisoned for killing a human, and being in the underworld, there is a violation of the treaty that Kirito and Ishkan ironed out with their councils. But this story follows Tease and Roni mainly on their adventures to help Kirito and Asa and the rest of the Human Unification Council figure out who the murderer was, and it's actually a very, very good book. I really enjoyed it. Um, Fantastic story, very good character development across the board, excellent mystery, and really sounds like there was a lot of action in this book. So I don't want to spoil it too much, but it was actually a former emperor resurrected, who resurrected another minion, and they turned out to be the kidnappers. But I wanted to talk more about this and kind of show you the inside. So, Moon Cradle is a story that takes place in the 200 years that Kirito and Asuna spent in the underworld after the acceleration went up to 50 mil. And they both have high ranking positions. Kirito is swordsman delegate, and Asuna is a sub delegate to the swordsman delegate, kind of like his assistant. We also learn a variety of how the system works for eating and digesting and expelling waste, which is interesting. They don't expel waste, so that was a very interesting concept. And Tease and Roni, they're still apprentice integrity knights. Roni has her moonbeam sword, and they have their little dragons, Suki, Gaki, and Siyosaki. And this is centered around the what is it centered around? It goes into depth about the class system in the underworld. There's that is Emperor Kruga, and he was killed in a battle shortly after the War of the Underworld. Pause. It was called the Rebellion of the Four Empires War, and they both killed him. I'm just going to find all the pages with pictures on here. We also learn a variety of how rules work and how the taboo index works for certain people. Integrity Knights, for the most part, are immune to it, but they are not above murder of another person, another human, unless if it's a war or something. They also Tease is also trying to learn real world talk, so she has her little notebook right here. So she's writing down words that you and I use every day, asking Asuna a bunch of questions about it. And Tease and Roni, they want to train their dragons on catching their own fish because they refuse to eat the fish that's given to them. But more on that later as we get to that chapter. Here we have Asuna doing the path scrying art. Bless me, sorry. And of course, we get the obligatory Asuna and Kirito sleeping in bed together. So going more over to that path scrying art before I sneeze my brains out there. Um, Basically, it allows a person to gaze into the past, like looking at a time capsule or something. But this will actually put them in the moment of an event that happens, and that's what they did when they found out about the innkeeper that got murdered by someone who is immune to the taboo index, and it can only be performed by the highest sacred arts user, and even then, it still takes a huge toll on them. And for Asuna, nearly knocked her completely over on her feet, on her back when she did the path scrying art because it takes such exertion. And since they're in a soul translator, an STL, it could render her real world body completely comatose. We also still have Tisa fighting to understand her feelings for Yujio while dealing with a proposal by the Integrity Knight Renly. Um, as Tease and Roni were training their dragons in the Emperor's private lands, which are now public lands, they came across a haunted mansion, and they were curious about it, so they went and looked at it because they thought they heard something from it, and that leads to them finding an underground dungeon and ultimately being kidnapped themselves. So it's up to this little dragon. Uh, I believe that is Sukigaki to locate help for their for them. One thing that I really liked, and we'll get there, is that little dragon. Um, had a little chapter dedicated to itself on its little journey, uh, trying to find the city, so they could be picked up and taken back to the stables, and that would alert the guard that something was amiss. And here we got Kirito using wind burst elements or incantation, because he was worried that the two knights hadn't checked in a while. And that's after that. That's chapter 8, and that goes over Sukigaki own adventure, where the little dragon fights off a mob of what I can only imagine were hyenas, or coyotes, or foxes, or wild dogs. Um, find the other page here. Here we have Roni and Tease doing their own team up art. What really helps enhance sacred arts is when you join together with another person with the same sacred art. It generates enough power to break just about anything. And the battle with Emperor Kruga resurrected Minion and the three goblins that were also kidnapped, that were then taken by Emperor Kruga, and they were then transformed into minions. Really advanced minions too, armored minions, what have you. And the battle is very long, very tedious, and Roni and Tease almost wind up. Well, they do actually come, pretty much die. Uh, but Roni's sword, the Moonbeam sword, is not a sacred object, but she was able to use enhanced armament, which generated a huge healing spell. So as the battle was raging, and Tease and Roni were recovered thanks to the Moonbeam sword's ability, Kirito and Asuna and the little dragon Tsukigaki come to the rescue, and they got Roni down there. There we go. Let's see. Okay. So that's it for interior illustrations. So eventually the Emperor does perish at Kirito's hands, and the Red Jewel has a mind of its own and flies to the Eastern Empire. So that jewel is probably going to resurrect another Emperor. But Reki Kawahara has not said whether or not he would continue this. He would like to, but his schedule demands his attention be elsewhere with SAO Unital Ring and SAO Progressive still coming out. He may not have time to get back to the storyline because this only covers about 1.5 to 2 years of post battle with Substilizer. In the last part of this book, Tease talks about her guilt for wanting to go into that mansion, and how she doesn't feel worthy to be a knight right now, and she would refuse being crowned as such. She wanted to see Yujio again. She was so torn that she literally broke down in front of Kirito. It was like, I want to see Yujio again. And Kirito was like, well, if you were to resurrect him as a minion, that would not be the Yujio that you know. The Yujio you know lives inside your heart. So he actually gives Tease the Blue Rose sword. And Tease, the Blue Rose sword does get passed down to Tease, I do believe. But her item priority level is too low to handle that sword right now. So Kirito still has mostly ownership over it. But I can only imagine that the Blue Rose sword eventually does come into the full custody of Tease. But anyways, I thought this was an excellent arc in SAO Underworld. I really, really hope that they could animate Moon Cradle, or animate or make a movie out of these two books. But we will have to wait and see. But I really like this book, guys. If you guys want to know more about what happened in Underworld in the 200 years, this is a good starting point to read. And yeah, it was just a fantastic read. I'll leave a link down to the description to the book where you can purchase it on Amazon, and I'll leave a Barnes and Noble's link as well. But anyways, that's it for that. The next book that I'll probably be reviewing will be Sword Art Online Volume Progressive Volume One, and I'm reading through this right now. As you can see, I haven't gone through. I've only gone through that much so far, and I still gotta get through all that. So I'm reading the progressive novels because that's the next thing that's going to be animated. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. If you like this video, feel free to hit the like button. Subscribe to see more content of mine. Leave a comment down below. Are you a fan of the SAO light novels? What are some of your favorites? And did you like Moon Cradle if you read it, or will you read Moon Cradle? And hit the notification bell in the upper right hand corner. Thank you guys for watching. You all have a fantastic day and week. Bye bye.